Is this on? Is this microphone on? I'm just kidding. Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to jump into another math lesson. Our goal for today is to be able to use partial sums to add three-digit numbers. So there's a couple of different vocabulary words I need for you to keep in mind as we go forward in the video. Quick shout out to Jada, Amir, Natalia, Kiki. Let me see who else. Tahar, and a whole bunch more friends who are turning in their work. Good work by you all. I'm excited to continue seeing you guys turn in work. All right, back to our vocabulary. So there's three words I want you to keep in mind as we go through this video. The first one is partial. Partial means a part of something. Sums. Sums are the answer to addition problems. And the third word is digits. Digits is a fancy word for numbers. So if I say a three-digit number, that just means a number with three numbers in it. All right, let's jump in. This is all review. This is what we've been working on the past two lessons. You've been using what's called models, these pictures, to find sums. So we're going to build off what we've learned and what we understand from those lessons for today's lesson. So really quickly, again, we've already learned how to use models. Now all we're doing is taking what we understand from the models, and now we're using digits or numbers to use almost as like a code in a chart to find the sums. So if you'll see here, we have two hundreds flats. So instead of drawing a model, we're just going to write the number 2, and it's in the hundreds category. So we know that its worth or its value is 2 hundreds. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens rods. So instead of drawing out the rods, we just use the number. In the tens column, 5 tens is the same as 50, right? 250. And then lastly, we see 7 ones, so we just write a 7. And we'll do the same thing for 384. 3 hundreds, you see here, 8 tens here, and 4 ones here. So all we're doing is instead of drawing models, it's writing the numbers. So it asks us, what are partial sums? Remember I told you partial means what? Part, right? And a sum, you know, is the answer to an addition equation. So partial sums are when we break apart hundreds, tens, and ones to find the entire sum. So first we're going to add these green numbers, which are the hundreds, and then you'll see we'll add the blue numbers, which are the tens, and then we're going to add the red numbers, which are the ones. Then we're going to add all those numbers up here to find the total sum. So all we're doing is breaking it down into smaller steps rather than adding it all up at the same time. Sorry, let me fix the video. Really quickly, I just want you to notice that the hundreds are color coded, so you know that the green numbers are hundreds, the blue numbers are tens, and the red numbers are ones. Okay, really quickly. Where did they get that, Mr. Levine? Well, we said these numbers value depends on what part of the chart they're in. This 2 in the hundreds chart, column means 200 plus 300. So I have 200s, hold on, and I have 300s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means I have 500s. Right now I'm only working with the green numbers, the hundreds. So I'm going to put a 0 in the rest of the spaces in the chart because I'm only working with the hundreds. 200 plus 300 is 500. So you write that number in the chart. Next, we're going to work with the blue numbers or the tens. How did they get that so quickly? Let's start with a greater number. 8 tens is 80. So we have to add 10 or 5 tens to 80. So 90, 100, 110, 120, 130. All I do is write my sum across. 130 has 100, 3 tens, and 0 ones. Now we're going to work with the ones. So they want to know what is 7 plus 4. 7 plus 4 is 11, we said. The most important thing to remember at this point, boys and girls, is to keep your chart organized. 100 place value places must line up, 10's place value places must line up, and 1's place value places must line up. When you do this practice activity, it might be best if you find a pencil or a crayon and something that you can write on like a piece of paper and work these problems out so you have space to make a chart a little bit easier than on the computer. Okay, let me show you how you get that answer. Once you have this part of the chart filled out, cross out the top, right? We don't need 257 plus 384 anymore. We're only working with these partial sums. 0 plus 1 is 1. So put your answer underneath. 0 plus 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. Put your sum underneath. 5 plus 1 is 6. Put your sum underneath. Because remember, 5 plus 100 is 600. 30 plus 10 is 40. Or 3 plus 1 is 4. 0, 0, 1. We only have 1 left over. This is how we find. This is another way of finding sums when we add 3-digit numbers by using these partial sums here. So boys and girls, now you know how to use partial sums to add 3-digit numbers. Go work today, keep up the great work, and remember to follow the directions in your workbook assignment and fill in all of the yellow boxes. So if you see a yellow box, that means that you need to fill in an answer in that box and then turn in your work when you're all finished. And remember, if you have any questions at all, I'm always available online. We can meet up in the Google Meet and go over the screens together. Talk to you soon. Great work.